I'm back again, you know, already for another Ryan Sports Reviews, but today it's not really a review. In the spirit of Canada Day, I wanted to do Canada soccer. Where do we go from here for both the men's and the women's game? Women's first, men's second, since the women's elimination happened first. Men's elimination happened second. So, the men's and the women's teams both got eliminated from tournaments that were very possible that they could win. It looked very possible. Very, well, not likely, but it was very it was pretty popular to say they were going to win at least one, maybe both. Canada being the 5th ranked women's team in the world in the Women's World Cup. People thought we could have had a good chance to win that. And then the men having a good run in the CONCACAF Nations League qualifiers, going in CONCACAF Gold Cup, looking better. You know what it is. So, let's start with the women, and first off, you cannot miss the fact of the penalty snafu. So, should Christine Sinclair have taken that penalty? Yes. Why didn't she? I don't think it was her out of the goodness of her heart. That's the way it was posted through the media. But we do know the media is connected to Canada soccer, Canadian soccer, Canada soccer like a glove. It's the Crony Soccer Association. Of course, they're going to defend the managers, especially Herdman, but I could see it because Heiner Moeller is basically Herdman's right-hand man. That's why they hired him. They'll protect him as well. I'm sure Herdman wants him protected. So, they make it sound like Christine Sinclair gave that penalty to Janine Becky out of the goodness of her heart, but I don't think so. She's not a Zlatan, she's not a Ronaldo, but she's not super humble. She knew the situation. She knew she would probably score that penalty if she was allowed to score that penalty. And Heiner Moeller tells her, well, I've been making a scene saying it's not about your record, so you better not take that penalty and make me look like a D-bag. Because it's my way or the highway, so tell somebody to take that penalty. I don't care who. Because honestly, if I look at Heiner Moeller, Herdman seems pretty easygoing. Heiner Moeller seems like frickin' this women's soccer version of Gunny Arlie Ermy. There's a little bit of an American reference into a Canada Day video for some reason. Don't know why. I did. Don't question me. Point being is he's militant. He's a D-bag. He's militant. It's my way, his way or the highway. Does a legend really want to get dropped like that? I don't think so. It kind of been wrong if she got dropped over a little petty thing like that because he was making a scene, so he was like, fine, if we lose, we lose. Ain't my fault. Kind of sucks how the media played it, but whatever. Besides that, what does Canada women's soccer need to do better? Well, Christine Sinclair may play in the Olympics. She'll beat the record. I'm sure of it. She only has 3 away. She's going to play till she beats the record. I think the Olympics, Olympic qualifying, but if you qualified, you're probably going to play. I don't think she's going to be like, oh, I qualified, but I beat the record. I'm done. I think she's going to play in the Olympics. I think Olympic qualifying is where she's going to beat the record. And whatever. I mean, she was on fire during World Cup qualifying, so that's what it is. So, what do we need? I think the women's game in Canada needs this. At least a Toronto team in the NWSL. Probably all 3 MLS markets in the NWSL, because that's pretty easy. Why? Because NWSL and MLS are connected. Some NWSL connected. Put them in there. I don't know why MLSE never thought of that, but I'd love to have a Toronto FC women's side in the NWSL. Of course, I'd root for them. But, also, we're basically saying do it the MLS CanPL way. Women's Canadian Premier League. You have the infrastructure. You can make every Canadian Premier League team have a women's side. If this is how you're going to grow the game like this. York 9 women's, Edmonton women's, Forge women's, Calvary women's, Pacific women's, Halifax women's. You know what I'm saying? And then whenever there's a new team, you put in a women's team as well. Also with an academy, but I'm sure there's that, isn't it? You have the infrastructure. Women's Canadian Premier League. Come on. And the 3 MLS markets in the NWSL. Come on. There you go. There you go. Montreal, Vancouver, Toronto, and NWSL. Everything else in CanPL, Canadian Premier League teams also have women's sides. Easy. Easy. Because here's the thing about women's soccer in Canada. The biggest sport played that girls play in Canada is football, soccer. You have a lot of talent coming through the pipe. Refine them. Make them better. Get them from Canada to Europe. There's a couple playing in Europe, but most of them play in the NWSL. Build them up to where they can play in Europe. Europe isn't as big in the women's game, but there's still your Manchester Cities and Barcelonas and Lyons, Chelsea's. I mean, it's not that different. Still probably better to play in Europe because the better players play in Europe. Look at this. There's only one CONCACAF team in the round of 8. There was only one CONCACAF team in the round of 8. One CONCACAF team in the semifinals. Who was that? The US of A. The Bullies. The over-celebrating socialist bullies because they don't want to go to the White House. Megan Rapinoe. They don't want to go to the White House, you know, yeah. The good old Uncle Sam's. Well, it wouldn't be Aunt Sam's. Whatever, who can? Aunt Samantha's. You know what it is. You know what it is. But I think a good bit of those players play in Europe as well. So, get your players going to Europe from the Canadian Premier League and the NWSL. Get them into Europe. Build your players. You have a lot of players to build up. And then you can have a great 11. I see it. Now, the men's team, I'm not going to spend much time on because there's not much things I have to say here. Bring more Canadian Premier League players into the side. They have some quality. They have some quality. I think so. Look at Calvary. Quality. Forge. Quality. York 9 has some quality. Not Ryan Telfer. Not Ryan Telfer. Manny Aparicio. Not Ryan Telfer. Why'd you think I was going to say Ryan Telfer? He sucks. Also, another good player that has some quality, Sergio Camargo. Remember him? I do. Remember him? I do. Yeah. Also, Chonier is a good player. You have good players in the Canadian Premier League, and I'm sure they're going to get better and better. So, not Cyrus Rollix. I mean, he's good, but is he good enough for the national team? I think he's kind of a little bit old. Like, he's already, like, so close to his prime, it doesn't matter. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Oh, and also young players in the MLS sides that look like they have great futures. I don't know, maybe they should call up Jacob Schaffelberg for the Nations League or Richie Larea. Speaking of Richie Larea, the man who basically just stole Alro's starting spot, well, he's better than Godinho and he can cross. Unlike ZBG, Zachary Broguillard, he should start at right back. If you don't want to do that, Will Johnson. But at worst, Larea should be the backup. He's better than Godinho and he can cross better than Zachary Broguillard. ZBG. So, Larea should get a chance at the Nations League qualifiers. Also, Jay Chapman maybe gets a chance. I'd like to see... Oh, wait, Io Akinola is a U.S. player and he ain't changing. Yeah, no strikers, really. Theo Bear, he looks pretty good for Vancouver. I like Theo Bear. I think he's a good player. I like Theo Bear. I like what he's doing. So basically, get better players, grow the Canadian Premier League, and Herdman out, please. I don't care. Don't give this man even a World Cup qualifying cycle. He did not explain what he needed to explain because he had a lot of explaining to do in that press conference, and he did not explain a thing. He was like, "Oh, I'll make excuses." Yeah. I watched the whole thing. It was madness. The dude made excuses on top of excuses. Herdman out. I mean, we could get Rafa Benitez because it's either Toronto or Canada Soccer. I mean, he deals with a lot of dysfunctional, horrible footballing groups when he manages Newcastle. I think this fits in perfectly, doesn't it? This fits in perfectly, doesn't it? So, yeah, Rafa in, Herdman out. Hunter Moeller out, Goose Hiddink in for the women. Get the cronies out. I guess also get out Jason DeVos because he's the puppet master of the puppets. Yeah, get him out as well. I know you're a legend, but you're out. Please, get out. Basically, both Canada Soccer needs reform. Especially in the men's department, but they just don't need to be cronies anymore. I'm going to end this on corruption. Can I tell you why it works for Mexico and Spain and Croatia and Russia and nations like that? They're pretty good footballing nations on the top half of CONCACAF or UEFA. I'm sure there's some Asian nations that are top half in corrupt South Korea, China, like that. I'm sure there's some OFC nations. I'm sure there's CAF nations. I'm not going to say them all out. I'm just saying there are good footballing nations that get better because of their talent, not because of the way the federation runs. It's in spite of the federation. It's because of the talent. That's how corrupt federations do better. The U.S. is kind of the same way, but they suck even worse because they have no talent. Except Christian Pulisic. That's it. That's it. That's all you have. Okay, Tyler Boyd actually looks pretty good as well, but the jury's still out. He is pretty inconsistent so far. Basically, get rid of the corruption in Canada Soccer. We should do better no matter what. We're not Mexico. We're not Russia. We're not Spain. We're not Italy. We're not Croatia. We're not China. We're not South Korea. We're not any African country. Get the corruption out. We will do better. DeVos out. Herdman out. Hunter Moeller out. Anybody else who's around the corruption out. I think Canada Soccer should be more grassroots. I really do. So yeah. Thank you for watching. Comment if you liked it. Share it, like it, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell all your friends. We need to get rid of corruption to make Canada Soccer better and grow the domestic leagues. I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace.